What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Predictions in the building. I will be covering the Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill Fight Night card. Man, this card took a bit of a hit. We were supposed to get Glover Teixeira versus Thiago Santos. I did a whole entire video about it, about like the main event and doing a breakdown on it. I gotta just put that on maybe October 4th, or I'll just redo it or something like that. It doesn't matter. But you know, it's a little bit of a whirlwind card. Some good fights, but here's what I'm gonna say before I get to the fights. I'm some of these I'm not gonna have in the same order as the fight card, but I will have fucking timestamps. I was about to say fight stamps, timestamps. So don't worry about it. If you like, if you don't like the order of it and you want to go in the direct order, you can do it. It is what it is. But I will be starting off talking about Julia Avila versus Sijara Eubanks. Julia comes in 8-1, fights at Oklahoma City, age 32, height of 5'7", and a reach of 69. Sijara Eubanks 5-4, fights out of Maryland, age 35, height 5'4", and a reach of 67. So Julia does come in with a reach advantage. I think that's really important in this fight. Julia is not the most technical girl in the world, I will say that. Sijara Eubanks, I say, has a little bit of, I would give her that, a little bit of technique. I think she's really gained a lot being coached by Mark Henry. I like Mark Henry as a head coach. He's the man sometimes. But, man, having that loss to Beth Coche is not that good. What was her last one for Julia? Not Julia, Sijara Eubanks. She looked good in there. I will say she looked good. Her wrestling looked good. Everything looked good. Sarah Moses, right? And Sarah Moses is like 4-4. Like, I like Sijara. I think Sijara is athletic as fuck. I'll give her that. She's like a mini Kevin Lee. But Julia, man, Julia does not give a fuck, man. She's completely offensive, and she's just throwing 1-2s, 1-2s, 1-2s. She's like this, and she doesn't return it to her goddamn fucking chin. She's just like, dot, 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 And it's just one of those things. So really what we're going to see is, does pressure kind of, beat Sijara Eubanks? Does she out pressure? And Sijara's a tough girl. I think a lot of people are kind of doubting Sijara based on the record and her loss to Beth Cochea. But she did have, I think it was a rematch against Aspen Ladd, and they had a great fucking fight. So I'm not gonna go Sijara Eubanks, but here's what I'm telling people: don't be surprised if Sijara gets it done. But I will be going with the crowd here, and I will be going Julia Avila by decision. Girl fights, I'm always going to go decision with girl fights, unless there's like a crazy, crazy grappling advantage. So, yeah. All right. Next fight, Khama Worthy versus Ottman Azaitar. Khama Worthy comes in 16-6, fights out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, age 33, height 5'11", and a reach of 74. Ottman comes in at 12-0, fights out of Germany, age 30, height 5'8", and a reach of 71, man. Khama Worthy, is he the Cinderella story of the UFC, man? This guy, oh, man. Being Devontae Smith's sparring partner and being that guy that came in to fight him, I think short notice, right? He was just there to lose, man. I looked at that and I was like, he's not beating Devontae Smith, and he fucking knocks him out, y'all. He knocks that kid out. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I was really taken away by his post-fight press conference, or his little speech or whatever. Go look it up on YouTube. I think 241 post-fight for Khama Worthy. It was a really, really good video. And he basically talks about, like, hey, I'm not here to win a belt. When I hear that, it's like, that's like, then what are you here for? For me, if I'm listening to, like, what's your motivation, right? And he says, I got kids and I need some money. I'm not here for, I'm not going to be here for a long time, but I want to be here for a fun time, and let's make some fucking money, right? I know some people might be like, I don't know, I don't like that motivation. But when I think about it, you look at a lot of immigrants that come to this country, right? And to the United States, obviously. They're not necessarily here to live the lavish lifestyle. They're here to put in the work and get the money. But the motivation is to give their kids a better life, And that's a motivation you can't fuck with. Now, if it's a guy that's doing this just for money, then it's like, damn, like, what are you really here for? It's almost like a job, right? And you don't want your job to feel like a job. You want it to feel like you're having fun, and enjoying life. But Khama Worthy, man, he's in here to make those big bucks, and he has just not stopped. He fucking beat Luis Pena. I didn't expect him to do that. But Ottman Azaitar is a different cat, man. he has, man, that knockout he got over Tamir Paklin, I think on UFC 242, was fucking sick, man. He made that guy face plant. So it's a really interesting fight. I know a lot of people are going to be going with Khama Worthy. I'm positive Khama Worthy has to be the favorite coming into this because of the last two victories and the experience and his motivation coming into this. When you look at it, I've been kind of hyping him up. And also, he's on a 7-fight win streak, man. He last guy he lost to was Kyle Nelson. So you're like, eBay is probably going to be going Khama Worthy. I'm actually not. I don't think I like Khama Worthy, but I did think he was losing that Luis Pena fight before he ended up winning. And I think Ottman Azir, that kid is just the right enough of explosive. And Khama Worthy, he likes to box, man. He likes his kill to be killed in there. And I don't think, man, the striking is not going to strike a third time. And yeah, I don't see this going Khama Worthy's way. I'm going to be going Ottman Azir, first round KO. I think that's how I got it written in Tapology. Next fight, Sabina Mazo versus Justine Kish. This is interesting. I actually like this fight. Sabina Mazo comes in 8-1. Fights at Huntington Beach. Age 23, height 5'7", reach at 70. Justine Kish, 7-2. Fights at Los Angeles. Age 32, height 5'5", reach at 65. In terms of recent wins, Sabina Mazo is coming off a win over JJ Aldrich via split decision. Kish is coming off a win over Luis Pildova. And Sabina's most recent loss is to Marina Moreau, and Kish's most recent loss is Ji Young Kim. She also has a loss to Felice Herron, so it's very telling. Justine Kish, they're both Muay Thai girls, you know, that they have a Muay Thai background. I'm positive Sabina Mazo has a Muay Thai background, and same thing with Justine Kish. But you know, Justine Kish has dealt with problems with people that can grapple. But I think in this fight, I don't think Sabina Mazo is going to take her down. I think this is going to be a striking clinic. But here's the issue. They're both really, 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 really stiff. But Sabina Mazo is less stiff, I'd say. And I'm going to be going Sabina Mazo. Man, that girl's highlight reel of fucking head kicks that she did in the amateur, man, I was like, oh my God, she was kicking these girls' heads off. Of course, I don't care. They're females and they're going to decision. Sabina Mazo by decision. Roosevelt Roberts versus Matt Frevola next. That's the next fight I'm going to be talking about. Roosevelt Roberts comes in 10-2. Fights out of California, age 26. Height 6'2", reached at 73. Matt Frevola, 8-1. Fights out of Tampa, Florida. Age 30. Height 5'9", reached at 71. In terms of recent wins for Roosevelt Roberts, he's coming off a win over Brok Weaver. Matt Frevola's coming off a win against Luis Pena. It's a little so-so. I thought Luis Pena edged that one. In terms of recent losses, Roosevelt Roberts is coming off a loss to Jim Miller. I predicted that. Matt Frevola, his most recent loss was to Polio Reyes. Here's what I got to say about these two. This is a great fucking fight. I love this fight, by the way. Let me tell you all that. But here's the issue with Roosevelt Roberts. I'd be like totally on board with Roosevelt if his IQ got a little better. He has a lot of skills, man. He's really good. And I like a guy that's very ambitious in the grappling, right? Really going for it. But I feel like his bread and butter is his boxing, man. That kid, in the clinch, too, the way he's able to, sneak in those uppercuts in the clinch, it was really, really impressive against what he did to Brok Weaver. And Brok Weaver obviously initiated the grappling, and he was able to submit him. But here's the thing. I just don't think Roosevelt understands sometimes that he doesn't need to grapple against guys that are better than him than that, you know? Like, when he fought Jim Miller, I just knew in my heart that he was going to engage in there. I know it. The kid's super confident. That nothing against that. Go for it, man. You know what? If you ain't trying, you ain't learning, right? But he's in learning stages right now. Matt Frevola is also in learning stages, but he is a grinder. He's a grappler, and he's tough as fuck, man. Go look at his fight with Lando Venata. They went to a draw. They went tooth and nail, and that's why I feel like Matt Frevola is getting a little fucking doubted here. And he also has wins over Jalen Turner, and he's just gonna be grappling in this fight. I know he is. So if Roosevelt Roberts is smart, sprawl and brawl, apply your jab, use your distance, use your footwork, do stuff like that. But he's not going to do it because he doesn't care. He's going to get taken down, and I bet you he's going to try to take down Matt Frevola. I put money on that. He will try to do that. So in terms of what I'm gonna be going Matt Frevola, man. I really am, and I think he gets this done by decision, man. I like Roosevelt, man, and he's gonna be a problem one day. I think he has a lot of potential. I think he makes the rankings one day. So, and at lightweight, so that tells you something, man. It's not easy. So next fight, this is another barn burner. Actually, it might be a quick KO. Bryan Barberena versus Anthony Ivy. Bryan Barberena comes in at 14-7, fights out of Glendale, Arizona. Height 6 foot. Reaches 72. Anthony Ivy 8-3, fights out of San Antonio, Texas. Height 6'2", and Arisa 74. Bryan Barberena's most recent win was to Jake Ellenberger in 2018. Anthony Ivy's most recent win was against Willis Black. Randy Barbereno, no, not Randy Barbereno. Bryan Barbereno is coming off a loss to Randy Brown and is currently on a 2-fight losing streak. He had a war with Vicente Luque, by the way, so I don't know. And he almost won that fight, but almost isn't good enough sometimes, you know. Anthony Ivy is also coming off a loss to Christian Aguilera in his UFC debut. Here's the thing about Anthony Ivy. I thought he did the right things in that Christian Aguilera fight, but the way Aguilera, sneaks those shots from his hands into your guard, like, man, Anthony Ivy was like this, shelling up. Like, he was really, like, his guard was amazing. Nothing against, I didn't think he did anything wrong in that fight. I just felt like Christian got him, man. He was just the better fighter. And Christian just has some goddamn fucking power, doesn't he? Like, shit. So, nothing bad about that. Bryan Barberena also is coming. That Randy Brown loss was pretty bad, and the way he got hit in the body and stuff like that. But Bryan is super underrated sometimes. In certain areas, he's just so good. Like, he just is, he's out of shape. I think a lot of people underestimate him sometimes because he's kind of out of shape. But, he's fought a lot of high-level competition. He's fought Colby Covington before. He's been in there with some of the best guys in the world. And the way he dismantled Jake Ellenberger, obviously it's Jake Ellenberger. He's retired now. But I think Bryan Barberena is coming off 2 losses. He really wants to win. Anthony Ivy, 8-3, still has some stuff to learn. And his style, if you're getting, if shots are getting synced in there, I think he can win this fight, though. But I think Bryan really wants to come in and win, and I think we're gonna see a quick KO. I might go second round KO because I don't think Anthony Ivy is a complete idiot, and is not gonna, he's gonna have to be going for some type of wrestling and stuff like that in this fight. So I think he can make it in the second round, but I think I got Bryan Barberena second round TKO. It's going to be an awesome fight, though. I really do think it's going to be a good fight. Next fight, Billy Quarantillo versus Kyle Nelson. Billy comes in 14-2, fights out of Tampa, Florida, age 31. I think he's teammates with Matt Frevola, right? I'm positive they are. Height 5'10", and a reach of 70. Kyle Nelson comes in 13-3 and fights out of Ontario, Canada. Age 29, height 5'11", reach 71. In terms of, recent wins for Billy, Spike Carlisle, right? That one was a little interesting. Who did I think? That one was hard, man. That one was a hard fight to judge because he was doing a lot of good stuff on the bottom, so I can't act like he's a complete, I gotta give him his credit. But Kyle Nelson's coming off a win over Polo Reyes, and his most recent losses to Matt Sales. Billy's most recent losses to Michael Quinones. This fight is going to be a fight of 2 fucking tough guys. They're not the most technical, but they're so fucking tough, man. They don't care. And Billy's got a gas tank on him. Kyle Nelson comes in there with some vicious elbows, if I've ever seen it. But I think I'm gonna give the edge to Billy here. I think he gets it done by decision. But Kyle Nelson is just one of these cats that you can just sense that if he wasn't a fucking MMA fighter, he'd probably be a psycho or something like that. But this is his life. So this is a really hard fight to judge. I know a lot of people are really going heavy with Billy. I just don't think this is just, and his last win wasn't straight up. Like, I thought it was a good fucking back and forth fight. So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna be going Billy by decision too on that. Another one, You see this one. This one, I don't know who to go with. I'm still going back and forth. Frank Camacho versus the great Brok Weaver. Two high-level guys, man. I mean, high level. I'm just playing. And no disrespect to either of these guys. But Frank Camacho comes in 22-9, age 31, height 5'10", and reaches 73. Brok Weaver, 15-5, age 28, height 6 foot, and a reach of 73. So they got the same reach. In terms of recent wins, Frank Camacho is not coming off, but has a win over Nick Hain, and Brok Weaver has a win over Devin Smith. I didn't count the other one where he got kneed in the face. That just doesn't. I'm sorry, that's not a win to me. Frank Camacho's coming off a loss to Justin James, man. Oh my God, that one broke my heart. And Brok Weaver is coming off a loss to Roosevelt Roberts. Here's what I gotta say about this one. Both guys have been really, really unimpressive lately. Frank Camacho, I guess you can say he's lost to some high-level competition before the Justin James fight. And then when I seen him lose to Justin James, I was like, oh, no. Please don't tell me he really lost to that cat. And he did. He did lose. And he came at Camacho crazy, and he knocked him out. Here's what I'm going to say. I have not been really impressed with Brok Weaver. I know what I'm going to get out of Frank Camacho. It's average. But I thought I was going to get something nice out of Brok Weaver. You know, you hear all these things about him and stuff like that coming into the UFC. He had a lot of hype. And he just did not perform well. And I'm going to be going Frank Camacho. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Camacho gets chinned, though. That's why it's like, man, I don't know who I want to go with. But it is what it is. Next fight, Matt Schnell versus Tyson Nam, a flyweight bout. Matt Schnell comes at 14-5, Tyson Nam 19-11. Matt fights out of Louisiana, and Tyson Nam fights out of Portland, Oregon. Age, for Matt, he's 30 years old. Height 5'8" and a reach of 72. Tyson 5'7" and a reach of 68. In terms of recent wins. He's coming off a win over Jordan Espinoza, and Tyson Nam's coming off a win over Zurakov Ashdif. I think that's how you say that cat's name. He knocked that fool out, man. Oh, my God, that knockout was crazy. Matt, his most recent loss was to Alexander Pojanto. No shame in that, but he got knocked the fuck out. Tyson Nam is coming off a loss to Kai Kara-France. So, his most recent loss is to Kai Kara-France. But, in terms of this fight, man, this is kind of hard to pick. I know a lot of people are picking Matt, but, man, he got fucking flatlined, So, I don't like picking guys that are coming off of knockouts like that. I'm going to be going Tyson Nam via KO. First round, I think I really do. The way he fell, it was pretty, it was devastating. I was like, oh my God, that was just not good. Next fight, what's it called? Ed Herman versus Mike Rodriguez. Ed Herman comes at 24-14. Mike Rodriguez comes in 11-4. Ed Herman fights out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Age 39, height 6'1", and a reach of 75. Mike Rodriguez fights out of Massachusetts. Age 31, height 6'4", and a reach of 82. He has a really long reach. In terms of recent wins, Ed Herman's coming off that really unexpected win over Kadis Akmarov. I know a lot of people were down on him in that, and he looked amazing in that fight, and he just put the pressure in the clinch. Mike Rodriguez is coming off a really recent win, I think like 2 weeks ago, on the Frankie Edgar card against Pedro Munoz to Marcin Piccioni. But in terms of recent losses, Ed Herman has lost to Gian Vellante, and Mike Rodriguez got fucking knocked out by Do Young Jung. So here's the thing. Mike Rodriguez is really, really active and has a lot of potential. Ed Herman, he's near the end, right? So when I look at this fight, can Mike Rodriguez use that kind of like explosiveness that he has and take advantage of it? Ed Herman, all he really needs to do is silence that explosiveness, take him down, smother him, make him tired, and do what he got to do, and not take him down, but keep him in the clinch, work him there, You know, Mike Rodriguez has some really impressive, wins in the clinch, but he's a guy that tires out in grappling situations. He doesn't do well coming up or getting off from grappling situations. You could really tell in his Devin Clark fight. No, Devin Clark's a good fighter, man. He's probably the GOAT gatekeeper right now at light heavyweight. So that's really what you really got to look at. But I think Ed Herman's most recent amount of success is coming to an end. I think Mike Rodriguez is... Oh, man, I don't know. No. Mike Rodriguez is not that good, man. I don't know. I remember people calling him the next John Jones. No. I was about to go Mike. No, I'm going Ed Herman by decision. No. I don't think Mike can do it. He did it. He looked really good against Marcin Pucinoy, but that guy was coming off, had losses to Sam Alvey or some shit like that. So, man, I know I'm going to regret that. I'm going Ed Herman by decision, man. Ed Herman's going to get this one done. I'm sticking with my pick, man. I ain't running away. Alan Patrick versus Bobby Green. I love this fucking fight, man. This is a great fight. Alan Patrick, 15-2. Fights out of Brazil, age 37. He's fucking 37. Doesn't have a lot of fights. Height, 5'11". Reach, 74. Most recent one was against Demir Horsrock, and his most recent loss was to Scott Holtzman. Man, those elbows Scott hit him with were brutal. Bobby Green, 26-10-1, has a draw on his record. Fights at where is it? Inland? Is it Inland? Inland Empire. What is that? I don't know where that's at. Age 34, so he's not that old. Height 5'10", and reached to 71. Most recent win was against Lando Venado. He looked really good in his Lando Venado win, and his Clay Guida win. So he's been looking really good. He had retired actually, I think 2 years ago, and I was like, I don't know. It's like Bobby Green. It is what it is with you. But he's been looking really, really good lately. And even when he came back when he lost to Francis Trinaldo, that was a competitive fight, y'all. I didn't think he got robbed. I thought Trinaldo won that fight, but that was super, super competitive, and he looked really good in there. So it's going to be interesting. Bobby does have the advantage, I'd say, in the boxing, but Alan Patrick is very, very explosive and very awkward. I think it's kind of one of these things, like, people don't take him seriously. When Scott Holtzman fought him, he was just like, he had so much disdain for his striking and was getting really pissed off with him. And then when he hit those elbows, it was just like, he was boom, boom, like, you're trash, bro. You're not on my level. So, that's one thing. It didn't go his way, obviously, but it is something we've seen guys get caught by that and kind of underestimate it. So really, Bobby, what number one thing he has to do is not underestimate this guy's striking, even though it might seem not that good, right? You have to respect it because it is explosive. I will say something. He is an explosive guy. He's in shape. So I think Bobby Green can win this, but he just has to respect this cat. If he doesn't respect him in there, he might lose. He might take an L. So I'm going to be going Bobby Green. Another one by decision, I'll say that. Next fight, co-main event, I think, Andrea Lee versus Roxanne Modafferi. Andrea comes in 11-4, the number 9 flyweight in the world. Fights out of Louisiana, age 31, height 5'6", reach 69. Roxanne Modafferi, 24-17, number 7 flyweight in the world. I guess fights out of Las Vegas. Age 37. Oh my gosh, she's old. Height 5'7", reach 69. Man, I like Roxanne Modafferi, man. She's a nice girl, man. She likes her anime or whatever. Nothing against it. But in terms of most recent wins, she is coming off a win over Macy Barber, and Andrea Lee's also coming off a win over Montana Del Rosa. So these girls, they have some decent wins, but they are coming off a similar loss in terms of most recent losses to Lauren Murphy. Both girls have lost to her. Here's how I look at this fight. I think Andrea Lee is a little younger. One thing, she is younger, and I think in terms of explosiveness and the smoothness in the striking, I would give it to Andrea Lee. In terms of that advantage, not by a lot, and she is gonna want to grapple. She does want to grapple. Roxanne Modafferi, that's her world, right? So it is one of these fights. It's like, man, who do I go with? Because it's like the Roosevelt Roberts Jim Miller situation, but I know Andrea Lee's a little better in that area, and these girls are female, so it's like, honestly, sometimes when I see these girls fight, it's almost like an open hand slap, no-gi competition. It's sometimes it doesn't seem like a fight. They're just going in there to grapple and punch each other. So it's gonna be an interesting situation in this fight. I probably might go Andrea Lee. I wouldn't be surprised if Roxanne Modafferi can get this one, but Roxanne, man, I just don't know, man. She's very, very, very. She does not have good striking. I'll just say that. And her grapple, I was happy for her when she beat Macy Barber, but her grappling is good, but it's not imposing like it should be. And I don't think Andrea Lee is gonna get phased by it. I know I might do something different. Third round armbar. She's an armbar girl. She likes her armbars. I'll go with that. I'll give her that. And next, last fight to the main fucking event: Michelle Waterson versus Angela Hill. Michelle Waterson comes in 17-8, the number 8 strawweight in the world. Fights at Albuquerque, New Mexico. Age 34, height 5'3", reach 62. Angela Hill 12-8, number 13 strawweight in the world. Fights in New York City. I think with Alliance. I think that's the gym, but Alliance is in San Diego, so it's so weird that they say she fights out in New York City. Age 34, so the same age, same height actually, 5'3", and reach 64. So Angela Hill does have the reach advantage by 2. In terms of most recent wins, Michelle Waterson's coming off a win over Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Man, like 2 years ago, that would have been a dope win. But seeing the way Carolina's been fighting lately to get booted out of the rankings breaks my heart. Angela Hill is coming off a win over Loma Lukbumi. I think that was on the Dan Hooker Paul Felder card, if I'm pretty sure. In terms of most recent losses, man, these girls are coming off some controversial losses. Michelle Waterson is coming off a loss to Carla Esparza. Some people felt like she won and she beat Carla Esparza. Angela Hill is coming off a loss to Claudia Gadelha. She won that fight, I'm being honest. But here's what I gotta say. I go more in depth with my breakdown. Now, my breakdown, I didn't know that they were gonna be the main event, so there's a little certain situations you can tell it was done a little earlier. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna be going Michelle Waterson just based on the wrestling, and I think she'll have that advantage. But I go really in depth in my breakdown, so go check that out. Hope you guys enjoyed this. eBay predictions is out. I'm finally back on Twitter, by the way. They finally let me free after getting banned for fucking 7 days for just saying nothing but the truth. But you can't say that no more. You gotta be nice. So it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is probably gonna be coming out on Saturday morning, so hope you guys enjoy that. Go watch this, or yeah, I'll put it on Saturday morning, and hope you guys watch this and then watch the fights with Alistair Overeem versus Augusto Sakai. I'm gonna be watching it with y'all, and y'all probably gonna get a recap. eBay predictions is out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See y'all.